decided to pop on a couple minutes early just to get everything set up, make sure I got the right camera angle. So let me go ahead and see if I can't. Hi Carol, hi Debbie. I'm trying to, is that from, that's from right now, right? I'm trying to get this so I can see the messages. And let's see here. All right, I'm not seeing. Okay, let me see what I can do here. I need to make sure I see these comments before I start because it's going to be really hard to do this without that. I just have to figure out what I did last time. 1 minute here. Let me just iron out all this fun technical stuff and then we'll get to this. And I don't know why I can't see myself right now. Oh, we might have some problems with the messages today. Let me wait until this other one pops up that I scheduled, because I always get confused if I do it off that one or I just started a new live. Hi everyone, I see that you're popping on and I really wish I could see the names. Hi Susie, hi Pam, hi Rosie. Let me see if I can't get to my live here. Sorry, I'll get there. See, the messages stopped. Okay, I'm gonna reset my iPad and see if I can't. Okay. All right, I don't know why I can't see these. Okay. Hi Rose, it's Holly. I see a couple messages on here, but I sign into chat. Okay, let me see here. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to work out this tech. This is the biggest struggle of this starting my business, is all the technical stuff. And it worked fine last time, and it was so great because I could see the messages. I should have popped on here just a little bit earlier. Let me just try to figure this out for, just give me a second here. Because it's going to be really hard to interact, but I'll do my best if I can't get this to work. Okay. Okay, I don't know why it's doing this, but all right. I don't think I'm going to be able to see the messages on my iPad today. It looks like a few of them came on and then they just stopped. So let me just sign in and see if that makes a difference. If I can go to my live that way. Holly Hobby is live. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure this out today. There's a couple little things I'm trying to iron out here. Okay. All right. Anyways, I can't let that stop me. I'm going to do my best to see the messages. It's going to be a lot of squinting going on, but hi, Angela. Hi, Sandy. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's been a big prep day today because I was trying to get all this ready for you. I'm sorry. I'm so sad I can't get my messages to work. Okay, what I'm gonna do is turn this off and on. Just give me one more second to give this a try, and if it doesn't work, we're just gonna keep moving along here and do the best that we can with what we got. All this stuff is a huge learning curve, but I appreciate you all being here in my live journey. It means a lot to me. All right, I'm just gonna reset that and see what happens. But today we're going to be making the famous pumpkin wreath. Everybody loves the pumpkin wreath. It is very popular. It's been my best seller when I was selling wreaths. I sell a few, but I don't sell like I used to. But when I was, it was my best seller in my Etsy store. People loved the pumpkin, and I did kits as well, and those were a big hit. And okay, let me go to incognito here. All right, it's not going to work out. Okay. Anyway, we're going to get started. Okay, turn on incognito. Let me try it one last time. I have a feeling it has to do with something with the link that I schedule. That I probably should have gone live with that link instead of doing a new live. Okay. Nope. Okay. Okay. We're going to do the best that we can. So I'm sorry if I can't answer everything, but I'm going to do the best that I can seeing the messages. Hi, Lori. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Welcome. So we're going to get started because this wreath is, it's a lot. Okay. And if you want to make a good quality wreath, it's all about the details in this wreath. And there's a few tricks that I've learned after making over 100 of these. Just a few tricks and tips that I want to share with you to get that beautiful detailed in your pumpkin wreath, and it will just be a huge hit and a great seller for you. If you're doing craft shows, I think this would be just a perfect wreath to do. So what we're going to do is I got my wood burner tool here. I've got my tempered glass, and I'm going to start by showing you how to make a beautiful petal, which is crucial to this wreath. Okay, so I have some that are already made here, and this petal, the finished edge, is on the left, which is going to be your right. And this one is on the right, which is going to be your left. So you're going to make half of your petals with your finished edge one way and the other half with your finished edge the other way. That's very, very important. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to start with our mesh, and we always lay it curl side up. Now I always look at my sides here, because we all know with the poly burlap mesh, it can be a little funky sometimes. So when I look at this, I see this is a beautiful side and this side doesn't look so good. Okay, so I don't want to use that side as my finished edge. So I want to use this side to show for my finished edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Now, first of all, let me go back to how I cut these, okay? I cut them just a little over, I cut them about 10¼ inches. So when I use my measuring mat, there's about 10½. There's that little lip that goes over before your it starts on the measuring. So I take it to the end of the mat and then I cut at 10. So it's technically like 10½ inches. Okay, I want them a little big because that's how we get that detailed look. And I just keep thinking this is gonna, oh wait, this might be working. Okay, let me see. Yes, okay, we got it. We're in business, guys. I can see you now. Let me get back to where those messages are. See, I'm telling you this stuff. Ah, now I gotta get to where the messages are. Oh, I just saw them and now they're gone. Come on. Ah. Okay, let me go this way. And why am I not seeing the messages now? They were just popping in. Okay, okay. I'm sorry, this is just, oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see you all. Now it's gonna make it so much easier. I don't like it when I can't see who's here. Let me just go through everything. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. So we have Donna, Lori, Laura, Tiggy, Susie, Pam, Rosie, Valley, Sandra. All right. Okay, I can see you. So now I can, oh, hi, Carol. Welcome. All right. All right. Betty, we are making the famous pumpkin wreath, which is a huge seller. It's been my biggest seller, and I want you to make a gorgeous pumpkin wreath. If you're selling your wreaths, you're going to craft shows, everybody loves the pumpkin wreath. Okay, so we're getting back to how to make those beautiful petals. All right, so I decided that this is a better looking side than the other side. So we're going to start by bringing, I can either go the bottom edge or you could go this way, but I like to go from the bottom to the top. So I'm going to bring this edge up, okay? And it's not gonna look perfect right now because that's why we cut it longer, so we can get that beautiful look. All right, so now I see my finished edge is right here on top of this unfinished ugly edge. And I'm just going to put a little clip right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wood burner tool. Can everybody see me okay? I was hoping I got a good angle here. Okay, so I'm going to take my wood burner tool and I'm going to cut right before that finished edge. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking off all the ugly stuff and I'm leaving that beautiful finished edge, which is what you're going to see on this petal. And trust me, if you take the time, the extra little steps in this, it really makes all the difference. So when I cut that down, you can see I have that beautiful finished side right there. And that's the side we want to focus up on. And the other really important thing is this tip right here. That's what you're going to see on your petals, and that's what you want to look really nice. All right, so now we're going to trim off this side. And what I do, I know it's kind of hard to see that the finished edge one at the bottom, but you're just going to use that bottom one as your guide. So I always just cut off this tip right here because I don't need it. It's not going to matter, and it makes it easier for me to cut. And by the way, I'm left-handed, so just letting you know, some sides, like when I do the other finished edge on the other side, it might be easier for you if you're right-handed. This side is always easier for me to do. So what I'm doing is I'm just making my triangle, and then I want this tip to look really nice, okay? So I've done the one with the finished edge that's going to be on the left side, which is, if you're looking at it, it's on the right side. And let's do that one more time, and then I'm going to show you how to do the finished edge on the other side. So I'm looking at this. I like this side better. I'm going to bring my corner up, and I'm not going all the way over because I want to leave a little bit to trim off and make it look real nice. So you can just see that finished edge right there. And you could do the clip or you don't have to. Sometimes when I'm doing them, you don't really have to. So now I'm coming down right before that finished edge. I'm using 10-inch poly burlap mesh, and I decided that not all pumpkins have to be orange. I actually have this mustard yellow because when I was doing that first season, when I had so many orders, I had pretty much bought Craft Outlet out of all their orange mesh, and it was that season, it was like 2 seasons ago, it was really hard to find the orange poly mesh. So I bought this 3-pack off Amazon because it was the only place I could find the orange. And so it came with this mustard yellow, the orange, and the brown that I'm going to be using as well. So now I'm finishing off that other side. And we have the triangles with them on the left, or the finished edge on the left, which is going to be on your right hand side the way you're looking. And now I'm going to show you how to do yeah, I know, Betty. I just I was excited to do this, and I didn't want to wait and order the orange mesh. And so I thought, you know, not all pumpkins have to be orange. And I actually people send me a lot of beautiful pictures of their pumpkins, and a lot of people did them in different colors, and they look so pretty in the cream. Oh my gosh, they look beautiful in the cream. And they even did purple, turquoise, and they look great. So whatever color you want to do. The Helen, it's a wood burner tool, and it's great for cutting mesh, and it helps. It's the only thing that you can use for this kind of mesh, because this will just unravel and fall to pieces if you try to use scissors, and this like seals the edge, but you do have to use a tempered glass cutting surface. So now I'm going to show you how to do it where the edge is on the other side. So I like this side. This is the side. So now I'm going to come up this way. And this is the part that might be a little bit easier if you're right-handed versus me being left-handed. And I'm just going to have it come over a little bit. So when I follow along that end, it's all going to be fused together. So that's why I make them a little bit longer. So now it's the same thing I'm doing. I'm trimming right before that finished edge. I just saved a couple to show you guys, and then I prepped all the other ones because it takes a long time to prep all of these petals, but once you prep, it goes pretty fast. And what's great about this tool is that you can also fuse like regular deco mesh together. You could fuse different colors. There's a lot of things you can do with it. It's a great, I use it all the time. And I do have all of these linked in my Amazon store. And I got this really cool thing. It's called a hot shot holder. And I always have this linked in the description as well. It's made by Susie's Wreaths and Things. And it holds the wood burner tool, because when you buy these little tools, they come with just a little wire stand. And I'd always be afraid that it was going to fall and burn me. So I bought this, and it holds it really good. Oh, good. I like the yellow too, Betty. It's a mustard yellow, so I think it's going to look really nice. I actually went back and forth if I wanted to do the tan with the mustard leaves, or the mustard with the tan leaves. So, okay, we're going to do one more with that edge on it's on my right, which is on your left. So that's the trick. And then another trick that I've learned is, and it might seem like a waste, but if you're a crafter, it's not going to be a waste because you will use it for something else, is I would use the first half of the rolls, because I found that once you start getting towards that last half of your roll, the petals don't look as nice at all. And the first half gives you that beautiful full petal, and then it starts getting a little wonky after that. So So for these are smaller rolls than the craft.
Yeah. Hey, tell BPN to sponsor me, bro.
Fumes. So that's this is the one tip is using the first half of the rolls, and then I'm going to show you some more tips to get a really pretty petal. Okay. So we did the finished edge. You can see the difference. Finished edge on the right, finished edge on the left. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, I'm not going to put my wood burner tool away because I want to show you something. Another thing that's a trick to getting a beautiful petal. So now what we're going to do is start folding our petals. You can get the gun, it's in my Amazon store. I have it listed in my Amazon store, and in all my tutorials in the description, I always leave the link to that. And it'll have the tempered glass, it'll have all my favorite crafting supplies. And when this tutorial is done uploading by tomorrow, I'll have it in the link of this live as well. And let me make sure I answered all the questions. Rosie, did I cut them 10.5 inches. All right, okay. I think I'm caught up on the messages. Okay. Someone took over the audio, Peggy. Did someone say something on there? Because I've heard that that's a thing too that you got to watch out for, which I'm sure I'll learn about all that too. Hopefully that doesn't happen on this one. What did they say? Did they like talk? Huh, that's weird. Okay, I guess that's what they call trolls, right? All right, so let me know if it happens again, and then I'll have to research how to figure all that out so they don't, because I have heard that that's a big problem when you go live, is the trolls. The wood burner rest, it's called a hot shot holder, and it looks like this, and it's made by Susie's Wreaths and Things, and it has the little feet on the bottom so it doesn't like slip on you, and then she also has she has all kinds of stuff. She has wood burner or hot glue gun holders, she has mesh and ribbon holders. So it's always linked in the description section. So now we're going to start our petals, and I just like to flip the corner under, and this is another part that's really important with your attention to detail, and you're just making like an accordion. And I'm flipping the other corner over, and then once it's all like kind of pleated together like a little accordion, I like to just, before I do my zip tie, I like to make a scoop. Okay, you can see it kind of scoops. So you want that scoop. That's another thing that's very important in this design. So now we're going to add the zip tie. Sounded like a trucker. Oh, you have? Is that like a common thing? Hi, Shannon. Yes, I'm making the pumpkin. I didn't think you'd be here. I thought are your parents, did they, were they coming today? All right, so we've made this petal. So we're not done with this yet. I'm going to show you something else which makes a perfect petal that you do. Just let me know if that happens again, and I'm going to have to figure out how to control that kind of stuff. Because I know some people, they'll have people that like watch their messages for them and control that kind of stuff, but I don't really have that luxury. So we're going to make our scoop, and then we're making our petal. And now I'm going to do the other two. Is he still on my channel talking right now? Oh my goodness. Can you guys hear me? Or do you just hear him talking? Aw, how nice to have your parents there. Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate that. That's very annoying. All right. So I'm getting my other petal done. I just saved a few to do with you, and then I have all the other ones prepped. And then once I get it like this, I still want to form that scoop. Oh, good. I'm glad he's gone. I mean, he's not saying, is he saying anything inappropriate or? Okay. All right. Shannon, do you know about that kind of stuff? I know you go live a lot. You've gone live a lot more than I have. Do you have that kind of problem where people get on your channel? Trolls, I guess they call them. Okay, so I'm just getting my petals done. Now you're going to get some that are perfect. Okay, that's what I would call a perfect petal. Then you're going to get some where you see this little unfinished edge is hanging over that beautiful finished edge that we want to see. So what I want to do is I don't put my wood burner tool because now I'm going to trim off all that mesh that's flopping over that finished edge that we want to see. And this is the part where it's important because it makes a really beautiful wreath. If you just take the time to do these few extra steps, because you can have a beautiful triangle, but then when you make your petal, you can have stuff that's hanging over the edge. So that I'm happy with. So I'm going to put those in my piles over here, and I'm going to just look at all my petals, and afterwards I'll just make 2 different piles, and some have to be trimmed up and some don't. So I'm just getting everything really nice before we add them to the pumpkin. And this tip part is important too, on the right here at the tip of the pumpkin petal. And then I'm going to trim off this excess over here. Okay, I'm happy with those. So get them in the right petals here. Okay, and here was a few more that I had to trim. Deborah, you and Henry, oh my gosh, he's so cute. She just got a new kitty. And so you can imagine trying to craft with the new kitty getting into everything. But your rose turned out really pretty, Deborah. She tackled the rose wreath and she was really proud of herself because it gave her a little frustration, but she's like, I swore I was never going to make another one. But then she goes, no, I love it so much. I'm definitely going to, now I want to do the patriotic one. And Turbo's here with me too. So if you hear, for those of you that are joining me for the first time, Turbo is my pug. And he is attached at my hip, and you'll hear him snoring in a lot of my tutorials. Okay, so those are good. And all right. And we just have a few more to do. And then we're going to start adding them. Yes, thank you, Barbara. I'm very, when it comes to this type of stuff, I'm very detail oriented. It really makes a difference, especially when you're selling your wreaths, because you want to give a really good quality product. And that way they'll come back and buy more. And I'm telling you, you better jump on these pumpkins. If you are selling wreaths and you want to make some money this year, everybody loves the pumpkin. I think it's just one of those things that never go out of style. They're timeless treasures. People love something different and fun, and it's still like elegant and classy, and it just kind of wrapped all. Let's just go through these real quick. I just wanted you to see the few of the little tricks that I've learned. See, now that just would make me happy with all this stuff hanging off the side like that. And you're not gonna know that you have to trim that off until you fold it, and that's where the mesh comes in handy. When you get to that, if you use the whole mesh, like I was saying, I mean, it takes so much of this to even get a decent looking petal. And then the petals they're not full and pretty like that. And that's the, you want a nice, beautiful scoop. See how it scoops like that? You want to make sure that you have that scoop, because that's what will really stand out. Hi, Jennifer, welcome. Can you use check fused with deco mesh? You mean like the check like the plaid mesh? Because I know you can fuse like well, there's a lot of, I don't know if you've seen my angel wreath tutorial, not the one on the heart frame, but the one on the carrot frame. That one I did Patty's ombre, her beautiful ombre wreath from Crooked Tree Creations, and that's where I learned how to fuse regular deco mesh, or poly mesh, I guess they call it, with burlap, poly burlap mesh, and that's what gives it the color. So when you look at it, people think that that's the color of the mesh, but that was from fusing. I did like an ocean kind of theme, and I fused turquoise and a sea foam and a navy, and then the way the pattern is, it gives this beautiful ombre look. So I know that you can fuse regular deco mesh with poly burlap for a really pretty look, and you can also fuse like different types of regular deco mesh together to give a like different and unique colors. So there, you know, I'd say just play around with it, and you could probably really get some pretty pretty colors that you just can't go by, that you can make yourself. Linda, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. This is my 3rd live ever, so I'm new to all of this. It's been on my list. Now, if you don't like the way you did the accordion, just do it over again, because having that nice accordion fold is key in this petal too. And that's what's going to help you get this beautiful scoop. Yes, this has been on my my list to go live. It was on my New Year's resolution, and 2024, and I never could get to it or figure it all out. And then it was my resolution for 2025, and we're halfway through the year, and I said, we've got to do this, because I need to connect with my followers. They don't know who I am. They just see my hands, which my hands are nothing to write home about. I'm not a big nail girl. I live in the country, so I keep my nails very short. So I'm glad. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to have you all here, and your love and support means so much to me. It's been a journey with my YouTube channel, and it's been the best thing that I've done. I love my followers on my YouTube channel, and you find your people, and your support means so much to me. It really does. And now it's been, and it's fun crafting with other people. I feel like I'm crafting with you all. And normally it's just me and Turbo in here. And it's nice to do live. And so you can see it real time too. I mean, this is real time here. There's no editing. There's no fast forwarding. This is it. Yeah, let me know, Betty. Let me know. Play around with some different colors and let me know what you think. I know you could really do some cool stuff. All right, Deborah. Oh, you go sell that wreath. All right, I'll see you later. Hi, Courtney. Courtney from Southern Owls. Nice for you to join me. Thank you. I love your lives. You've actually really inspired me these last few years on TikTok. I think that's where I first saw you, and I thought, God, this girl is killing it. And your lives are so fun and cute, and you've really been an inspiration to me. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate that. All right, so we got one more petal, and then we are going to put this pumpkin together here. How many petals? Okay, you have to do 17 for the left side with that seam, and 17 for the right side, and then I do 7 of the leaves. So I'll do 2 on the sides and 3 in the center. Oh, you're lefty? Yeah. So I'm not the only one in my right mind. Oh, thank you, Courtney. Did you have fun at the market? Can you explain to me? Because I always see people like, oh, I'm going to the market. I'm going to the market. Like, is that for inspiration, or do you buy like supplies, or are you getting like inspiration for like the next seasons? Like, how does that work? I know I saw all your stuff about the Dallas market, and I was just always curious when I see other designers going to market, like what that entails. All right, so this is the last one, and I'm going to be putting my wood burner tool away. We have all those edges that are just, we have everything finished the way we want, and all the bad stuff is burned off, and we are left with 34 petals. And if some of that mesh is kind of poking, I just take that time, because this is what makes this wreath, is that attention to details. Market is where you can buy bulk supply. Oh, okay. So you stock up for, they do it once a year? That'd be so fun. I would love to do something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna put this away, get my wood burner tool away, and make sure nothing's, take my tempered glass off. Okay, now we're going to start. Now I know the pumpkin wreaths are getting harder and harder to find at the Dollar Tree. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby. They are a lot thicker than these, but it's all going to give you that same look. Okay, so now we're going to start adding our petals. So I'm taking my two different stacks here, my left and my right side, and we're going to start adding them. Oh, it's twice a year. Okay, so cool. Do you get, okay. Oh, I bet they have some really fun stuff. And then you get to see all like different creators there. That would be really fun. Oh, thanks, Barbara. It's good. You can finally put the face to the hands. Okay, so let me make sure I got everybody here. All right, okay. So now we're going to start, I got them on the wrong side, adding our petals. So the seam is on my right side here, and I like to start with the outer two. And I just like to kind of get that zip tie right below that other zip tie if you can, or right above it, whichever's easier for you. And now we're going to start adding, making sure that we're having that seam the right way. Yeah, it's pretty easy. I think you just, well, I just did that, filled out that form, and I mean, it was a piece of cake for the license. All right, so we have the two. Now I'm not going to worry. These are going to be flopping around. We're not going to worry about that kind of stuff right now because we're going to be fixing all this stuff later. Hi, Aldaliz. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we have two that go on the outside, and now this next bar we're going to start adding. So once you take, I would say have a good day where you're getting all those petals, everything perfect, and then you could add it the next day or however you want to do it, because it does take a lot. There's a lot of prep that goes into this to get those petals looking really nice. Okay, so now we're just starting to add everything. And what's neat about the scoops, okay, the scoops, remember how I told you how important the scoops are, is because one is going to fit, the top of your petal is going to fit inside the scoop of the other. So it all just kind of fits. See how that's sticking up? Well, that's going to fit inside that scoop that we made. So we're just adding now, getting them on here, and there's a lot of adjusting on this. I have a lot of trolls in here. Courtney, do you know anything about trolls? This is barely my third live, and I don't know about that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to learn how to control trolls and what to do. What are they doing, Lynn? I mean, I don't even know. Do they say like stuff or like bad stuff or what? I don't know. Because I don't see anything on my side. I don't see any messages or anything. Huh. Yeah, if you can let me know, because I don't know about that kind of stuff. I'm going to definitely have to research this. Okay, so we have, we're adding our fourth one on here now. Or block them. You can have a moderator on YouTube. So like a moderator, you mean, yeah, I've heard that. So you have to have somebody else like watching over your stuff while you're going live. because I don't see anything on here that's anything that's bad or anything like messages, so I don't know. But I have heard there's a lot that it happens a lot. Okay, so let's see. We have 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're doing, I think it's been a while since I've done this one. I think it's 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, so it's 5 per section except for 2 that go on the outside. So they just like watch your YouTube live, like, or listen to, like, and then like have control over your messages. Because I'm gonna have to figure that out, because I have heard that yeah, that is a problem, or can be a problem. Okay, so we're adding the 5. So now I'm going. We have the 2 on the outside and the 5 on the 1 bar. And we're going to be adjusting everything and towards the end here. So we're not worrying about that. We're just getting them on the bars with the right side going the proper way. Like a CB radio, huh? It's normally people that say hi. Sometimes I get creepy stuff. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. Well, okay. All right. Another thing to have to learn, because like I said, this is all new to me. It's my barely my 3rd live. So I'm adding 5 more, making sure that my seams are facing the right way. Oh, okay. Thank you, Adelise. Blessings. Oh, how nice. That's sweet. It's fun to see all the different places that people join you from. I love it. Okay, let me grab some more of these petals over here. It's going to start looking funny for a while until we start adjusting everything. Hi, Amber. Oh, thanks, Adelis. I like that. That's usually my motto. It's what I try to live by. Hi, Amber. Welcome. Welcome. All right. Okay, I think we're caught up. I'm so glad I could see these messages, because I was getting nervous there for a minute when I couldn't pull these up, because that first one was rough trying to read that camera messages. Courtney, are you still on here? I just wanted to let you know that I know that you work with TMI Gifts, and I'm doing my very first collab with them, and I'm so excited to be part of the collab team. Well, the petals are Karen. When this live is over, if you go to the rewatch it in the beginning, I'll show you how I did them. I did them in 10.5 inches, and then I fold them, and then I use my wood burner tool to get these beautiful seams on the left and the right side. Sherry, I'm making, I know, I'm really excited, Courtney. I got my first kit. I actually haven't opened it yet. It just came. So I've got to unbox it, but it was so hard going through all their stuff and trying to figure something out. Sherry, I'm making a pumpkin wreath. This has been my biggest seller in my Etsy store, and when I was selling wreaths, I don't really sell that much wreaths anymore, but this I've sold over 100 of these wreaths, and I just wanted to show you, everybody, how to do them. So if you want to start making these to sell at craft shows or sell, they're a great seller, and they never seem to go out of style. I mean, they fly off the shelves. Thank you, Doris. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Courtney. I'm going to be doing it. It's going to be my tutorial on well, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. So that'll be my tutorial for YouTube, and I will do an unboxing. I don't know if I'm going to do it live here on YouTube or if I'm going to do a reel, but I'm dying to open that and see all those goodies inside. But I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a really pretty kit. I'm doing a fall one, and then I can't wait to keep picking out some fun stuff every month and making new kits. But yeah, they have a lot of really great stuff. So it's my very first collab, so I'm like really excited. What do I do with all my wreaths? Well, I have them all over my house. I'm always like, oh, this is my favorite. Oh no, this is my favorite. I can't sell this. I like this one. So I usually have them on my house, around my house. I swap them out in the seasons, just my favorite ones. A while ago, I donated 2 big, huge bins to the thrift store of ones that I just, I didn't think that I should sell. And then I was listing some on my Etsy store. I kind of was trying to get into that groove of when, you know, I do a tutorial, and then if I really like it, I'll put it in my Etsy store. But I keep kind of switching my Etsy store around. And I started selling kits, and then I stopped doing that. And I like the idea of the TMI kits because I don't have to ship it. I don't like all the shipping kind of stuff. But so yeah, I'm starting just to, until I get my Etsy store like switched around to more like PDF kind of stuff, I'm just selling a few of my, you know, just a few. Like I have the rose ones in there. I just barely put that patriotic rose in there after I finished it, and it sold immediately. And so yeah, I'm just kind of trying to figure, I give them away, whatever. I only sell the ones that I really, really like. Okay. All right. So we have our sections done so far. We have 3 of our sections done. So what I like to do is wait to do this next one, and I'm going to start on the other side now, making sure you're having that seam going the right way. Which other ones, Sherry? Because if you go to my YouTube channel, I have all my tutorials are, you just go under the video category, and you could scroll down. I'm going on my 3rd year of my YouTube channel now. So I have a lot of tutorials on there. And sometimes people are like, oh, I'm looking for this one, I can't find it. Well, I'm like, sometimes you got to scroll way down, because some of those are older ones that I did originally. And so yeah, I pretty much have wreaths everywhere. All right, Courtney, thanks for popping in. It was great having you. Okay, so now we're starting on the other side, and I have my finished edge is on my left. You're right, it's not looking like much right now, but it's going to, hi, oh, hi, TMI Gifts. I was just talking about you. Talking about my very first collab that I'm so excited to do. And you have some amazing stuff. And I am just chomping at the bit to open that box. But I know that I need to do the unboxing video, so it's hard not being able to look at that stuff that I picked out. But I will have a code for everyone, and you can use my code and you can save 20% off at TMI Gifts. I'll leave it in the description section when this live is over after it downloads. So it should be, I'll be there by tomorrow. But if you look at my other tutorials in the description section, it's there as well. And you'll use that code HH20 at checkout and you'll save 20%. And then there'll also be a link, which I haven't added yet. I'm going to have a link that will take you directly to all of my kit supplies on the TMI website. So it'll go straight there. It'll show you, you know, this is for the kit. But I picked out, I really am excited for this kit. It's going to be really cute. I'm really excited. I'm going to be starting that this next week. Because not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I will have that tutorial on my YouTube channel. So I'm just really excited to show you all the beautiful stuff that I picked out for a beautiful fall wreath. Because we all know we got to be moving on here in the wreath world, and I'm a little behind. I got caught up in some patriotic ones that I wanted to finish really bad, and so I literally feel like I just put all that stuff away. The Christmas, the Halloween, and I cannot believe it's time to get all that out again. Yes, I'm really excited. Yes, I'm making the famous pumpkin wreath that everybody just goes crazy on the pumpkin wreath. Okay, so we have 3, 4. We're going to add our 5th one, and then we're going to be adjusting all these petals. So let's not, you don't have to worry about where they're at right now. I'm just going to move these down a little bit because I need to get that 5th one up on here. But if you spend the time to do that attention to that detail that I showed you in the beginning, it really makes this wreath stand out, because it's all about the details on this one. Now, if we didn't do that, that'd be the first thing that your eye would be looking at on those petals, would be all that stuff hanging over. I know, the seasons go by so fast, so fast. So I'm excited to, I'll be kicking off my fall designs with my kit from you, and I'm really thrilled to be to do a collaboration, my very first collaboration. So I'm super excited. This frame, Rosie, is from the Dollar Tree. Now I know they're getting a lot harder to find these days. I'm hoping they're going to be putting these out this season, but as we all know, it's getting harder and harder to find a lot of those specialty frames. So let's just hope that they put the pumpkin wreaths out, because it was always a staple. You'd always, you know, find those wreaths there, and now it's just, you don't know. So, but you can get them at Hobby Lobby. They are, you know, they're still a pumpkin shape. They are a lot thicker. And you can make a beautiful pumpkin on that as well. But I always stock up on the pumpkin wreaths when they have them, because there's a lot of things you can do with the pumpkin wreaths. I've done my 2 favorite wreaths that I've done. Well, it's kind of like when you have a kid, you're like, oh, this is my favorite age, and then it's the next one, oh, this is my favorite age. But my favorite ones that I love is the ones I've done on the pumpkin wreaths, and that is I did the Witch's Cauldron, which was one of my really popular ones, and I've also done the snowman head on the pumpkin frame, and they're so cute, super cute. All right, so we're adding the 5 on these other bars here, and we're making our way up our pumpkin here. And this is with the poly burlap mesh. And I have seen pumpkins done in the deco mesh, which are cute too, but you know, it's a different look. So it's what look that you're going for. And I prefer the poly burlap mesh with the pumpkin wreaths. I don't know if you can hear Turbo, but he is snoring. You just want to make sure those seams are facing the right way, or you're going to have to take it apart. Cats count as viewers. Aww. Henry. I don't know how you do it. I don't think I could do a kitten right now. I just got through Turbos 2, and I'm telling you, that first puppy phase is a lot. Now he's just mellow and he sleeps all the time. I mean, he's really not mellow, but he sleeps a lot. Oh, you see the pumpkin frames at Walmart? I've never, well, I haven't really looked at Walmart actually. I haven't done crafting supplies there in a while. They have the pumpkin ones? Do they look like the Dollar Tree ones, or are they thicker like the Hobby Lobby ones? All right, so we have our 5 there. Remember, we saved that one section. We're going to save that one for last. And now we're going to add our next 5 on this bar. And it's starting to fill up, and then we're going to do a lot of adjusting of our petals. What did you Google, Shannon? Oh, the frame? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm curious what they, how much they are and what they look like. Because honestly, I prefer the Dollar Tree one over the Hobby Lobby one, even though the Hobby Lobby one is like really nice and thick, but to me, it kind of has a funky like shape, but I'm sure it'd still be like pretty. I just love I heard the Dollar Tree's going up to $1.50. Has anybody else heard that? Oh, good. Yeah, then I would like those. I wonder, did it say how much they are? See, once you get the prep time going, it's not, it doesn't take too long to get the petals on. And we're almost done with these. Oh, really? Oh, it's $1.75? Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I haven't been into Dollar Tree this year like I normally do. I've just been trying to use up a lot of the supplies that I have, but yeah, I hope they get some cute stuff this year. I know I've seen a lot of people doing stuff with the Michaels Halloween stuff, and their stuff looks pretty cute this year. Some of their ornaments and things like that. All right, so we have 5 there. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to add on the next bar here. I feel like I'm short a few petals. Now we're on that bar in the middle. Yeah, the zip tie guns are pretty fun. It took me a little while to get the hang of it, but once you get the hang of it, it's really nice not to have to, just does everything in one step. July 4th, wow. Yeah, I don't think I will be either if it goes to $1.75. That would just get a little out of control. I think that would just add up so fast. That's crazy. I'll just stick to my wholesale suppliers like TMI Gifts and Craft Outlet and all the favorite ones that I like to shop at. And maybe one day be able to go to one of those markets and get some fun stuff there. I was always curious how that is when I see all the people going to market. I feel like I should have cut more of these. Now I'm starting to question if I, you know, like I said, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Because I stopped selling them. And now I'm wondering if I was supposed to add the 4, and then because we add more at the top here, and I'm already on that last one, so I'm wondering if I should have done the 4 before this last step that I'm doing here that I have to show you. I guess I should have watched my own tutorial. I knew I needed 34 petals, but okay, so we're starting to fill it up, but this is the part where, now I know it's hard to see, but what I'm doing now is I'm going to just start sliding my petals down, and this is where I think that I'm going to have to cut some more. So I'm just kind of sliding, and I'm fitting all the ones in the scoop of the other one. You might have to bear with me while I cut a few more of these petals here. So I'm just, now's the point where you're going to adjust your wreath here. And what's nice about it is that you can, if you don't like something, you can put the other petal on top of that one. And so this is what we have so far. And I am going to have to cut some more. I thought that I had enough. I'm thinking that maybe it was the 4, and then we add the 5th one on that extra row that we make, but I'm gonna leave it like this. It's not gonna matter right now, but you're gonna have to bear with me while I cut a few more petals, okay? Okay, so this is what we have so far. It's starting to form into the pumpkin, and then on the outsides, I like to take them and just flip them over the other side. So it just makes a little, I don't know if you could see that. See how it looks like that right now? So what I do is I just I take those and I turn them so it's just like covering those outside edges so it flows really nicely. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So now I'm going to have to cut some more mesh. So let me go ahead and plug my wood burner in. I'm just going to have to do a few more petals. Because we have to fill in a few more up here. See how there's a big gap right there? So what we do for that is we take a couple of pipe cleaners. This one's called a No Easy, and I have it linked in my Amazon store. It's really cool, and you can adjust it has a little knob that you can adjust the tension, like how tight you want to do your zip tie. Hi Jake, welcome. So now I'm going to take 2 pipe cleaners and I'm just going to twist them together because we want to create another row on here to add more leaves, which I don't understand why I didn't catch that before. So I'm sorry about that, but sometimes it happens. So now I'm just going to twist my pipe cleaner around the outside frame. And then I'm going to weave it in and out of the bars. Because what I want to do is create another row that we're going to use to add some more petals. Hey Regina, how you doing? I'm making a pumpkin wreath. She was with me, it's one of my girlfriends from high school. We've been friends for almost 40 years, and she was with me on my journey. She'd be like, what are you doing? Making pumpkin wreaths. Got more orders to go out. I can't keep up. Sorry, I'm taking this off and then we're going to redo that. The links for my supplies are in my Amazon store, and I always leave the link in the description section of all my tutorials. So when this is uploaded, this will take me, it's going to take like overnight to upload. And then I'll have the link in this live, but until then, you can always go to any of my lives or any of my tutorials, and I'll always have the description to my Amazon store there. Okay, this pipe cleaner is giving me some issues here. Just trying to secure it around the side here so it stays. Let me give it a harder twist. And this can always be adjusted too. And then we're just weaving it under and over till we get to the other side. Oh, were you? Yeah, if you go to, sometimes it's hard to find that description section. You have to hit the more, and then there'll be a drop down, and then, oh, you know, okay, I know what's going on here. I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? I know exactly what's going on here. Brain fog. Sorry. This is what happens when you're live. And this is what happens when I start talking too much. lose focus. Okay, I'm like, I couldn't figure out what the heck, why that was doing that. I know exactly why that's doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna go, let me grab a couple other pipe cleaners here. I was trying to secure it to the bar, and we secure it to okay, here we go. We're going to secure it to the right here, to the leaf. I'm like, why does that keep slipping on me? How's it going, Regina? What are you up to? You selling houses? We're going around right here, around the leaf. I'm like, what in the heck was I doing? Just take it right around, right below those zip ties. And then we're going to weave. I'm going to actually take it above the zip ties. Okay, so once we have it tied around there, now it's not going to be moving around. Now you're going to weave it in and out. This part you probably can't really see too good. I'm just weaving it under and over the, right there, under and over the bars. And then I'm going to tie it onto this other leaf on the other side, the other petal. We haven't done the leaves yet, but we're getting there. And I'm just twisting it. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating this extra bar with the pipe cleaners that we can add another layer of petals to. All right, so I'm going to have to go grab my some more mesh, and we're going to cut some more petals. So for those of you that didn't see this part, I'll show you how to do this. And I have everything just kind of, I have to move stuff around to get the right camera angle. So I'm going to go off to the side real quick and grab some more mesh, and then we're going to make just a few more. We're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more petals. All right. Very hot. Oh, I bet it's very humid too, huh? In Alabama, Pat? No, it's not a pineapple candy. I guess it kind of looks like it with the mustard yellow, but I'm doing a pumpkin wreath, and I had this mustard yellow that I wanted to use up. I have a lot of it, so I thought, you know what? We're going to do a mustard yellow pumpkin. It's going to start popping once I add the leaves and everything else. So I'm going to go grab some mesh. I have it right over here. It's just a little hard to move in my craft room right now. The way I had to adjust everything. Let me go grab that, and I'll be right back. Okay. So we just need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So for those of you that weren't here, yeah, I guess it could pass as a pineapple, huh? So for those of you that weren't here when I cut the mesh, now you get to see that part. So what I do is, first I'm just going to trim off the side here. And I like to make them a little bit longer than 10 inches. So I do 10.5 inches. And that way we can create a really beautiful petal. And I'm going to try to focus so I don't burn myself here. Trying to talk and use a wood burner tool at the same time might not be the best idea. So when this is all done, I'll leave in the description section exactly how many petals. I know I did 34 to begin with, so with just the yellow. but we just need 5 more. So I'm using my wood burner tool with this poly burlap mesh, otherwise it will fray and just fall apart on you if you don't seal the edges. Yeah, it's hot here too. It's so hot, but it's not humid like it is where you're at, Pat. We get that dry heat, hot and dry. But in the description section, that's where you'll find a lot of information about my tutorials, the supply list, the different links, things like that will be in that description section. Okay, so we're going to need, we got to make sure that we're doing them the right way. So I need 1, 2, 2 with them on the right side. And so just bear with me so I can get these last few prepped, and then we'll be adding, we're going to add to that row that we just did, made with the pipe cleaners. And then we're going to start adding our leaves, do a few more adjustments, and then the embellishments. And then we're going to have a beautiful pumpkin wreath. And I'm doing it in the yellow. Originally, I've done all my pumpkins in the orange with the green, traditional. But I've had a lot of people send me pictures of their pumpkin wreaths that they did. You did not, Deborah. Are you talking about the rose? Which wreath are you talking about that you sold for $20? But this pumpkin, it looks really pretty in different colors too. I've had people send me pictures. They've done it in turquoise. They've done it in the cream. It looks beautiful in the cream. I mean, any color you want to do your pumpkin in. I think it would look cute in like a sage pink, or like a, you know, like that muted pink. All right, so we're just getting these all trimmed up. Right now, I'm just trying to trim off the bad unfinished edge that's underneath this finished edge and trimming it right in front of that finished edge. And then we're going to add these last 5. Yeah, it probably took me a good hour and a half to get the 34 petals prepped. So it's definitely, there's some prep time in this wreath for sure. Okay. Let's fold these up and we'll trim off any excess that we need to. I really appreciate y'all being here with me. It means a lot to join me on my live journey. It's been a lot of fun. It's fun being able to craft with you, other people, and not just sitting in this room crafting by myself, talking to myself. I feel like you're all crafting with me right now. can, I just like to trim off any of the unfinished edges that are hanging over. Especially these 5, because these are going to be on the top, and we really need these to be nice. Okay, Deborah, I was going to say, if you sold that rose for $20, I don't even think you can make it for $20. And for those that didn't join me my last live, I did the rose wreath on the Unique in the Creek wreath board, which was a lot of fun. One of my favorite wreaths to make. It kind of seems to be a trend that I'm doing. I'm making my favorite wreaths. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I always forget to remind people that kind of stuff, so thank you. Everybody hit that like button. Okay, so let's see. These are on the right side, so we're going to do 3 of these, and then we'll do 2 of the other. I'm picking the side that I like the best. That's going to be pretty. Because some of this mesh can be a little, one side could look really nice, and the other could just have all kinds of strings hanging off of it. So just pick the best edge that you're going to use. Yeah, so you ended up liking that rose wreath, right, Deborah? Hi, Pinked and Pickled. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. Just trying to concentrate. I've got my wood burner tool here, and I haven't burned myself yet, and I don't want to. I don't want to see what happens. My friend, actually, I was bringing some craft supplies over to her house because she wanted to make, she wanted me to show her how to make the cross wreath, and I said, be careful with that wood burner tool. If that burns you, it's going to hurt really bad. And she burned herself. I felt so bad. Like, you can't say I didn't warn you, but she had a big old welt. You're putting your leaves on the rose. Did you find the green that you wanted, Deborah? And you don't have to double it up. That's up to you if you want to double up those leaves. But I'm glad that you figured everything out between the tutorial and the live. It got you through it, right? Okay, we've got 2 more and then we're back in business. We just had a little detour. I had to prep some more petals. Okay, so the other 2, we want that finished edge on the other side. So we're going to go this way. And I think once we get the leaves on it, it's really going to start popping. So I have one more tutorial, one more patriotic wreath tutorial that's coming out on this Sunday on my YouTube channel. And then after that, I'll be doing my very first collaboration with TMI Gifts. And I got to pick out my very own wreath and make a kit out of their supplies. I got to go through and design my own kit, so I'm very excited about that. And that's going to be my next Sunday's tutorial. So I will leave links in the description section for my coupon code that you can use to save 20% off, and I'll also leave the link to the my kit. So if you want to order a kit yourself and follow along with me on my YouTube channel, you'll have that option. But I will be showing, I'm going to start showing the supplies that I picked out on my Facebook channel, so you could see all the fun stuff that I got that I'm going to use. I'm going to make a really fun fall wreath with a cute fall sign, and I got some beautiful grasses and sunflowers, and it will be a deco mesh wreath. All right, thank you. Yeah, I like doubling it because I just sometimes that, especially with the Hobby Lobby mesh, it's kind of thin and it doesn't really pop as much. Oh, thank you, Doris. I hope so. I hope everybody likes my kit that I picked out. I'm just excited. We're going to be doing a collab. It'll be a monthly collab. So the next one will probably maybe be a Christmas. I don't know yet. Let's just get through this one kit first. And I'm just excited to keep doing monthly make my own kits. It's just so fun. The hardest part is just deciding because they have so many beautiful stuff, but I picked out some beautiful ribbon and a really pretty sign, and I think it's just going to be a really pretty wreath. Thank you, Cindy. I am too. It's my very first one. So excited. I've never done one, and I always thought, gosh, I want to do one of those collabs like I see everybody else doing, and so sweet that TMI reached out. And you know, sometimes people will reach out and you just think, God, is this spam? Is this real? And yeah, they're the real deal. Okay, so this is our last petal, and now we're going to start adding them on our pipe cleaner bar that we just made. We just had one little detour of making more petals. Oh, thank you, Shannon. I think it's really pretty. I think that at least I mean, you know, I just picked out, and that's what's nice about it is, you know, they want you to pick out your own style. You know, I don't have to do anybody else's style. I just have to do me. And so I picked out what I thought I like, which is usually what I do, and hope that my viewers like it as well, my followers. Marie, okay, so basically I'm going to have at the because I have a link that's going to take you to their website, which is going to take you to my kit that's on their website. And so right now I just have the link for my to save 20%, and you'll get 20% off too. But I want to be able to get that link into the description section. So if you give me until tomorrow, I'll have it all in here, or you can go to when I get done with this live, I'll pop it in my last tutorial. I can put that in the description section, and then so that direct link to my kit. And then make sure you use my code HH20, which is in the description section as well. And that will save you 20%. But the other link will take you to where the kit is, my particular Hollie Hobbies kit is on their website. So I'll have it all linked here. It takes overnight for this live to upload on my YouTube, and then at that point I can go into the description section and add all that kind of stuff. So by tomorrow everything will be in the description section. Yeah, you know, that's a really good idea, Shannon. I probably should put that in the bio on Facebook. But what I thought I would do is when I do the when I start promoting it next week, I was going to add it in the comment section, which I know sometimes Facebook doesn't like when you do that, but I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. I think there's other ways you can do it on Facebook. I'll have to ask Courtney with Southern Owls, because I see that she does it too, where it pops up on the Facebook post. So I don't know about all that. I'm gonna have to learn all that, but I'll definitely have the link for everybody to access it for sure, because it's just easier than trying to go through, you know, the website and find everything on your own. It just takes you right there. Okay, I'm going to take a drink of my bubbly, and then we're going to add the rest of these. And okay, so now what we're doing is we added that, I don't know if you could see it, that pipe cleaner bar right there. And so what we're doing is we're going to use that as, I'm going to use my bigger zip ties here. I still have these. We're just going to wrap it around that pipe cleaner, just like it's another wreath bar, and we're going to attach it. And that's given us some extra coverage. And we could still make adjustments at this point, okay? We could still move this pipe cleaner bar and move all of our other petals around as we work our way around. Okay, but you still want to make sure that your seams are the right, and this pipe cleaner needs to be a little bit tighter. Let me tighten it up. It came loose here. I didn't quite tighten it very good on that leaf. Let me just wrap it really good here. Okay. So now we're adding our other ones. And then I got to start thinking about a couple Halloween ones. I think it's going to be hard to beat my last year's tutorials, because those were my absolute favorite. The spider, I don't know if you all saw the spider, and the witch's cauldron were so fun. It's going to be hard to top those. Okay, so now I'm adding the last few on this pipe cleaner bar right in the middle. Yes, Barbara, I have a business license. I got that when I first started my business in 2022. It was very simple to do. I just did it online. I think it was like, what do they call it, EIN number. And that's what I use for taxes. Okay, so I'm adding this last one. Okay. I don't know if you're getting the full view of it, but it's coming together. So this is what we have so far, okay? You go like that. It's kind of like a, you know, a 3D look in a way, because it's the way it's formed. All right, so now let's go ahead and just, what I like to do is just get everything adjusted here. Sometimes you just want to move some petals around, maybe lift them up, making sure they're all in the scoop of the other one. And the sides, when we're done, we're going to add those around the sides. Okay, these are kind of popping up a little bit on top, but everything else is going to start holding it down. So this is what we have so far with our pumpkin. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grab our leaves, and I have right here. Same thing with the leaves. It's going to be a left and a right. So make sure you have the seams on the right one. Okay, so the first one I like to kind of do in this big space right here. Because I wanted it to taper in a little bit, and I wanted it to be in the middle and not right. I wanted to taper the petals in to more like an angle. Otherwise they'd still be kind of like that. I think it flows better that way. Okay, so I'm making sure I have my edge right there. And it would help if you had a little bit longer of a zip tie. Okay, so there's one, and then I do the other one right around here. And I also need that pipe cleaner to attach the center leaf as well. Okay, so we have the two leaves on the side. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, making sure that I have the seam going the right way. Deborah, thanks. I wish I can't hear you. I would have, yep. I'm like, something was just not right. Amber, what makes your skin bubble and hurt? Is it the humidity? All right, so now we have the two on the sides. Thank you, Barbara. It's starting to come together. And I even looked at it and thought, is there a yellow pumpkin? And there is. There's yellow mustard pumpkin. So I was like, okay. Okay, so now we have the stem, which I'm going to show you the stem right now. Where did I put my stuff for the stem? Turbo, what are you doing? Stem must have rolled off somewhere. Oh boy, Turbo's waking up from his nap. Here, why don't you say hi to everybody? Oh, you say hi to everybody. Oh, this Turbo. Here's. He's like, Mom, when are we going on the WALK? Say hi. You say hi. That's the snoring. That's the face behind the snoring in the tutorials. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find a stem I prepped for you, so I didn't have to show you. Oh, here. Okay. My gosh, I don't want to pull the wood burner tool out. I'm going to have to pull it out because I wanted to save this part to show you. Okay, before we add the rest of the leaves, I'm going to show you how I do the stem. Okay, so let me set this down. And I got to plug the wood burner tool back in because I got to show you one thing real quick. Okay, this is the part where Turbo's going to start demanding my attention, and let's try to get this wrapped up here because that's what he'll do. He'll start pawing on me when he doesn't want me to craft anymore. Okay, so this is how I do my stems. And it took a little bit for me to figure out the right stem. So if you ever look at my pumpkin wreath tutorial, I have a revised stem in the description box because I thought it looked better when it's long. So what I would do is I would just take my mesh and I would curl it, just roll it up like that. And then I would use a clip to hold it. So there's still a little edge like this. And I already did one, so I just showing you what I do. And then I would add some hot glue all the way down and use my little silicone fingertips and just make it, glue it. So it's one tube like this, okay? So this is the hot glue seam side right there. So that's how I do those. And then what I have to do is you have to trim it down. So let me let this heat up. We're going to trim this down just a little bit, and then we're going to add this to the stem before we add the last of those leaves. If using orange, Betty, I use a sage green. That's how I did all my pumpkins, were orange with the sage green. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Oh, thank you, Shannon. I know Shannon's had a couple pugs, so she understands the pug life. But if you hear in some of my tutorials when I'm editing, I'll hear snoring and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't really, edit it out. So I just, it is what it is. I just let people know that that's Turbo. That's my pug. He's snoring. And I think people know by now when they hear that snoring, that's Turbo. He's getting anxious right now. I could tell he's going to start pawing on me. He's been sleeping all day. We do a walk every night. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have said that. So he's like, okay, Mom, enough. And then he does that too when I'm on my phone. Because, of course, I have to be on my phone a lot, answering messages and things like that. And when I'm on my phone and he doesn't want me to be, he'll let you know. You can't, because he'll be like, get off the phone. I'm done. So what I do, this is 10 inches, and I like to cut it down to like right around here to 8 inches. So I'm just letting this heat up just a couple more minutes here. And we're going to add it to this ginormous pumpkin here. It's getting there. See the sides and the other side. My kids like to, like in that one picture that I posted with me holding the pumpkin, it's just the camera angle. I think it makes it look like this huge, I mean, it is a big pumpkin, don't get me wrong, but my kids like to joke with me and say that I catfish the pumpkin wreath. And it was just my son, my youngest son, taking a picture of me holding it. Yes, Barbara, you can see the back. You can see how everything is just stacked inside the scoops. That's why you want to make those scoops. And what I would do when I sold these is I would take a piece of foam core board from, well, you used to be able to get it from the Dollar Tree. Sometimes you can't find it there, but a lot of times you can when the school supplies start coming out. And I would trace the pumpkin wreath, and each pumpkin wreath can be a little bit different. So I would trace the one that I'm using. use an X-Acto blade to cut it out, and then I would hole punch it and secure it to the back of the wreath. And that just gave it a nice finished look. Well, Sharon, we did 34 to begin with, and then I just made an extra 5. So total of 39. 39 of the yellow and 7 of the leaves. That is the grand total here. So now what I do, we're going to add our stem, and I know. See, that's what he'll do. He'll just stay right by my feet. He is literally like Velcro. Okay, so what I do is I just want to trim off some of this pumpkin. So I'm going to use the whole part of the wood burner tool. Now this part is very fumy. Make sure you're in a ventilated room because we're, you know, it's going through that hot glue too. And you could do it any way you want, but this is the way that I've been doing my stems to get a longer stem. I did some pumpkin wreaths with toilet paper, cardboard. See, it's very fumy. Okay, I'm going to unplug this now. We don't need the wood burner tool anymore. Get rid of the tempered glass. And get this out of the way. Oh, I better not put it down there because Turbo's down there. Okay, so then what I do, I know, we're almost done. We're almost done. Okay, so now what I do is the unfinished edge, the nice finished edge is going to be at the top of the pumpkin. So this part, what I do is I fold it over about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Just go around and fold the whole thing over. So I get something like that. And then I just don't want this wood burner tool to hit my pumpkin. Let me move it over on this other side. And now what I do is I add it onto my pumpkin stem. And I put the seam side towards the back so you can't see that part. And then what I do is I use 4 zip ties. And I just go through, I know it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is I'm going through the part that I folded over, and I'm going to go around the pumpkin wreath bar. But before I secure, I'm just going to do a couple clicks first, okay? Because we're going to do another one before we click it tight. And then I'm going to take another one and go on the other side around, making sure you're getting it around that bar. So just fill it with your fingers, making sure the zip tie is going around that pumpkin stem bar. And then I'm going to take 2 more zip ties, and I'm bringing it through the zip tie that we haven't quite singed up really good. And I'm going to secure it around. Once I get the zip tie in there, you can go ahead and tighten it. Now I'm just taking the other zip tie and going through under that zip tie, or like through the zip tie and around the wreath bar. So I don't know if you can see that, but it secures it, because it's still going to slide up and down, and that way it secures it to those other 2 bars on the side, and it's not going to move anywhere. So total of 4 of the zip ties. And then you have your pumpkin stem. And you don't want to go super, super tight because it could just rip right through the mesh. So once you get it the way you like it, you clip off your zip ties. Yes, this is a pumpkin. Yes, it's a pumpkin. Okay, so we have our stem on here now. So now we have our next 3 leaves. Hi Adele, I'm making the pumpkin wreath. It's been a very popular wreath when I was selling wreaths. It's my best seller. I'm doing it in a mustard yellow. Normally I would do them in an orange with sage green leaves, but you can do them any color that you want. All right, so we have our pumpkin stem. So now we have 3 more leaves to do. And there's the 2 bars that are on each side of the stem, and that's where you're going to attach these other leaves here. Making sure your seam is going the right way. Thank you, Adele. The like button, good question. I'm not really sure. Maybe like towards the bottom. I think it's like the thumbs up is the like. Like you'll see a thumb up. I don't really know what it looks like on your side. But when I'm watching a video, yeah, when you go towards the bottom of the video, there's a way to hit the like thumbs up. That's when they say like, subscribe, you're liking by doing that thumbs up. So now we've got this other one we're going to do on this side, but no, we'll do that one first. And then we'll add the other one last. The one in the center. We're getting there. And all this stuff we're going to be adjusting, so it's all just going to get covered up with your other petal. Okay, so see what we got so far. It's starting to look like a pumpkin. Okay, we still got some adjusting to do. And we're going to add our very last petal. And we're going to get a longer zip tie because it's going to be too hard. And this is where that pipe cleaner comes in. Somebody was asking about why you don't just attach them on the things, because we want to taper it in. We want them to taper so they're staggered like in the center of the other ones. And then we have this zip tie here and the pipe cleaner to attach our last leaf in the middle. Now it's up to you. I've done them with 3 on the side, but I like the look of 2. I thought 3 just looked too much with the leaves. So you just do it how you want, but this is what's always worked. Oh, it's at the top. Okay, thank you, Peggy. I wasn't really sure where all that stuff is. So far, this is what we have with all the petals added and everything, the leaves added. Okay, so now is where you want to adjust, because there's going to be some gaps and some things that you can just fix by moving your petals and adjusting your petals. And sometimes you can even just flip them. Like if you don't like, you know, like you might like this one on top of that one, or that one on top of that one. So you just play around to get it the way you want it. And you could still move things down. Let's move that down a little bit, because we're going to be adding our embellishment. So you get everything the way you want. All right. And that, like I said, takes a little bit of just kind of playing around and adjusting. So, but that's basically the pumpkin, and we're not done yet because we're going to embellish it now. So now you can have fun with the center. And oh, you found it. Good. Everyone, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. So now we're going to make our embellishments. And I decided on these, I found these florals and I thought it'd be pretty to add a sunflower. I just thought that would be fun because it would just go with that yellow. And I found these little, from Hobby Lobby. They have some of the mustard yellow in them and I thought they were really pretty. I also got these two, but I'm not sure if we're going to use both of them. I might just use these. So what you do is you just grab a couple floral picks that you like. The ones that I used, the ones that I sold, they had little beads. They have them at Hobby Lobby every year, but I just thought this would be something different and fun. So we're going to take our floral pick and we're not going to take it apart. We're just simply going to bend our wire right around the wire that we just attached those two pumpkin or the two leaves on. We're going to just squeeze that and we're going to flip it over and use a zip tie to secure it even more. But right now, let's just get those in there. And we could still bend things the way we want. So I'm just, ooh, those are kind of fluffy. I might have to go a little bit, let me bend this a little bit more. Let me go a little bit higher here. That's what's great with the floral picks because they already have the wire in them and you can just use that to work with. Okay, so I'm going to add those. I think I like those. And I'm just going to squeeze those wires. So far we just have a couple little sprays coming out. And then what we're going to do is when we flip it over, we're going to just take a zip tie and secure it to the frame. Just to give it that extra reinforcement. You could do 2 or 4. Okay, so we have those added. And now we're going to make a bow. Thought these would be have more wire in them so we could shape them, but I think it'll still be pretty. Some of them have wires. I might have to trim that one off. That one's poking, right? We'll see what it looks like with everything else. Let me see if these have more wires on them. Maybe I'll end up using, do you think those are sticking out too far? I mean, we are going to add a bow in the middle. I feel like they're kind of sticking out too far and I can't shape them the way I want. Okay, some of them have wires. Not all of them, but some of them have wires in them. Do you think I should keep those or should I add these instead? You know what? I don't like those. I'm going to add the other ones. I think they're just, with the other ones I used to add, I could really shape them the way I wanted to. And these, I can't. And I don't like the way they're just sticking out like that. So we're taking those off. And we're going with choice number 2, which were, these are pretty. So these, we're going to use these instead. And same thing, we're just going to add them around the bar. And let's see how we can bend that a little bit more. That's what I was after. That's going to look much better. Okay, so we're going to add these. Squeeze those, and then we can fluff and play with those a little bit later. Yeah, I think that finishing the backs, Barbara, is important, especially when you're selling or gifting them too. You want to, it just gives it that nice finished look. Nobody wants to look at the back with all the junk going on. Okay, so here's the other one. Hi, Tina. Welcome. Hi, Holly. I'm Holly too, but with an IE. Let me see if I missed any. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, I know. It really, it does look great in other colors. I mean, I had even people do them in turquoise and blue, and I mean, it looks really pretty. I think it would be really pretty in an off-white, like a cream. All right, I'm just making sure I got all your... Oh, thanks, Amber. He's getting anxious. He's getting anxious. I don't want to say the W word, but hi, Tony. Hi, Linda. Welcome. We're in the home stretch. See, that's much better. Those other ones they were like, boing, weren't working for me. Okay. So now, once you have your little floral pick embellishment, then you're going to make your bow. And we're just going to do a very simple bow. I know, we're almost done. Hey, hey, hey. Let me have that. Let me have that. Turbo decided he wanted to play with that. Okay, so now we are going to trying to find a spot. Let me hang it over here until I need a spot to put this because Turbo is going to grab it. Okay, Turbo. I don't think there's enough room in here for both of us. It's tight quarters in here, let me tell you. I have a very small craft room, but that's okay because I'm just happy to have my own space. And I make do with what I got, and I am happy. I've utilized the space like crazy. My husband made me, I don't know, you probably can't see it, but I have right behind me where I'm filming is from floor to ceiling is a rain gutter ribbon rack we saw on Pinterest, and you take the rain gutters and you screw the bottom into the wall. And so the gutter's facing you, and that's has all my ribbon. And then I have another one that's a half wall of the rain gutters down here. And then, which has really helped with space in tight spaces. And then he built me some shelving with all my meshes from floor to ceiling over there. So I really make do with what I have here in the small space. Huh, Turbo? Huh, and then there's room for Turbo over there too. Let's see. Show off rose. Yeah, the cream color would be really pretty, I think. Yes, for sure. Yeah, I think cream would be gorgeous. Okay, so we're almost done, okay? I appreciate y'all being here. I know this is a long live because, you know, this pumpkin takes, it takes a long time to make. So I think what we're going to do is just going to do just a kind of a simple, nothing too crazy of a bow because we don't want to take away from everything else. So I'm going to do, this is a 2.5 inch, and I'm just doing 6-inch loops. We're going to do one loop with this, and I just made a long tail because we can trim our tail. And this is my easy bow maker, which I absolutely love. It's really made my bow journey a lot easier with the measurements. I also have a bow dabber. I have other bow makers, and I use them all for different things. I know I can't flip the camera right now. I'll have to do a live and show you all that. There's a lot of ribbon from floor to ceiling. I know, we're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done, baby. See, it's getting that time where he's like, I'm done with you crafting. Okay, now I get this from Hobby Lobby. This is what I used in my pumpkins last year, and I was gonna switch it up for this one, and I just thought it's just gonna look so pretty with that mustard yellow. They have it in the fall section every year, and I just love this ribbon, and it's hard to tell if it's one or two-sided. I think it might be one-sided, but it is a little hard to tell. And I think we'll do, for this, let's just do 2 loops at 5 inches. And then we'll add that sunflower in the center, and I think it's going to really make it pop. And a lot of people do that. They'll add a lot of florals in the center, and that's where you can just have fun with your pumpkin and embellish it however you want. And I also like to add, it's really hard to tell with this. I think it's two-sided. I really don't know. If you work with this ribbon, let me know if it's one or two-sided. Even though I have my glasses, it's hard to tell. And then what I like to do is also add some straw. I just think it makes it fun. I'm not going to put that on the ground because Turbo will have a heyday with this. And I'm just going to grab some of this. I get this from Hobby Lobby. It looks really pretty in bows. I'm just going to grab a big chunk of it. And you can always trim it. This went a little bit popping out of our bow. And let's just stick that in the middle there. I think that's going to be really pretty. And then we're going to add the sunflower in that center, and I think it's going to be a nice look and finish here. Let's add a little bit more. And then what I do is I'll take a piece of floral wire and a zip tie to secure the bow. And I have some floral wire right here, and let's use a zip tie. And I'm just going to remove this. Going to add my zip tie here. We are in the home stretch. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me, crafting the pumpkin wreath. It's quite a wreath, and it takes a little bit, but it's definitely worth it. If you want to sell these wreaths, start making them now, and it'll be a huge hit for you for this season. Oh, Barbara, your dogs, yeah, they don't want us on our phones, which I don't blame them. They, they want our attention. And I do feel bad when I'm on my phone like that, but when he starts doing that, I just say, okay, Holly, it's time. You've got to get off your phone and spend some time here with him. That's why I make sure that we always do our WALK every day. As soon as I say that word, he goes crazy. But if this works out good after the live, I feel like the camera angle shifted a little bit. And then it's cooled off a little bit where I could take him for a walk where it's not so hot, because he just pants and he can't handle the heat. All right, so I'm just fluffing out my bows, my loops here. And this is what we have. Just made a little bow, and then we'll finish off the tails. Once we add this, I like to curl. Once we add it, we'll just trim the tails how we want it, okay? And we can trim off some of this straw stuff too. Okay, so I'm gonna move all this out of the way, and we're going to put the last finishing touch. Can I just say that I am loving it in this mustard color? I mean, it is really pretty in the mustard. Oh, we got to secure those floral picks. So what I like to do, if they're too long, just trim them off a little bit. And zip tie those right to one of the bars. And that way those are going to stay in place. Hi, Glitch. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Peggy. Oh, you're welcome, Cindy. I'm glad. Thanks for joining. Okay, so we could do 2. We can always add another one if you want. But we just don't want those floral picks to go anywhere. And we give them a good squeeze with that wire, okay? And now we're going to take our bow that we just made. We're going to use that floral wire that we added to the zip tie to add to our frame. And I always just add it to the tip right here, to where it comes down to the wreath goes together in that point right below the stem, and that's where I usually do my bows, right there. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, there's that. Let me just secure this. Oh, thank you, Adele. Thank you. I like this part. I love the embellishment part. And sometimes it takes me a while to decide. I go back and forth, but I really enjoy combining the colors and different ribbons and textures. You'll hear me say that in a lot of my tutorials. I love texture. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going, I think I'm going to keep these tails long like they are, and let's just go ahead and dovetail those. Finish those off. And then we're going to finish it off with our sunflower in the center. Make sure tails. So this is what we have so far. And I think those all look really pretty together. I can't really tell till I stand up and look at it if I need to trim some of the even out the tails, but can do that later. So this is what we have. And then now I just thought it would be kind of pretty to add this right smack in the center of our wreath, just to give it a little pop. So let me get this in here, but I still want to see that stem. See, I think that will look pretty. I like that. And so what we'll do is we'll just use those wires to our advantage here. And I'm just going to wrap this wire around the wreath bar. Or I might have to trim it down a little bit. Let's see here. So I'm going to pull it and I'm going to bend the wire and then just secure that wire with a zip tie. And there you have the very popular pumpkin wreath. You can always adjust your petals around the sides. You want these two on the sides to turn so they cover the sides, and you can move things up or down, adjust any ones that you want to, play around with it. But what do you think? You have 10 frames. You're going to be busy, Betty. I'm telling you, take these to the craft fair, to the farmer's market, and I mean, they're going to fly off the shelves. But you saw what it took to make this, and just make sure that you charge accordingly, because this wreath is a lot of material and it's a lot of labor. So you got to make your prices accordingly. And I hope that you enjoyed this live today. I know we tackled a pretty big wreath. Can you see it okay? I'm trying to hold it so you could see. It's, you know, it's curved, so. And I will add in the description box all the supplies that it took, how many petals that we used. I'll also add the link to my wreath kit that I designed at TMI Gifts, and I'll leave the coupon code and the link to my Amazon store and all of that fun stuff. The link to the wood burner tool holder. And I hope that you will all come back and join. Yeah, you're going to be so busy. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. Thank you, Pamela. I think it turned out pretty darn. I like it in the mustard yellow. I really do. I think it was just refreshing to do a change from the orange that I did so many of in the same color, that I am and I'm glad that we switched the picks too. Those other ones were popping too much. And these, you can just bend the wire, make it go fit more flush towards the pumpkin, or stick up however you want. All right, Betty, I'll see you next Thursday. If you have anything that you want to, any ideas, I'll take any suggestions, ideas, that things that you want to see me make. I need to come up with my tutorial for next Sunday, so just leave that in the comments. And let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you joining me live, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.